As NATO prepares to meet in The Hague next week, local peace groups are pushing back with a counter-summit. De tegentop voor vrede en rechtvaardigheid. Today, Nandini speaks to Jakob de Jonge, one of the organizers, about the growing criticism of NATO and the call for a different path to peace.
Welcome to the studio, Jakob. How are you feeling as the counter summit is prepping up? And your coalition is hosting Tegentop as a counter summit. Can you tell our listener the main purpose behind the counter summit and why is it being organized alongside the NATO summit?
Yes, well, it's a couple of days before, so it's this Saturday we have the counter summit. The idea is mainly to show that there are voices. Luckily, there are a lot of voices, an increasing number of voices who say that there should be a limit to the militarization that we're in at the moment. Of course, we are bombarded with all sorts of propaganda nowadays about NATO, and we have a whole theater tour by a couple of generals, and we have all sorts of new school educational material being developed, which promotes the army and which tries to convince youth that it's a noble cause to fight and die for NATO. So there's a lot of propaganda around this whole summit. There's a whole road to summit events all around the Netherlands. And we want to say that, well, this is quite enough of this militarism, and we should actually look not to weapons. But,
right.
Yeah.
So your counter summit challenges NATO's role. Mm-hmm. What are your main criticism of NATO as it operates today?
Well, two main criticisms. Or the basic criticism is that NATO starts from a belief that you can create peace by war, and this is for us it's a contradiction that doesn't really work. If you look at the many situations in the world where we have so-called tried to bring peace through weapons, it has never actually worked. All the wars over the past decades have ended miserably, from Libya to Afghanistan to Vietnam. Well, whatever you think. Whatever you can mention of Western interventions hasn't led to peace, but it has led to more disaster. And also, we don't really believe that NATO is really there to protect and there for the security of the citizens as it pretends to be. It's mainly a powerhouse for Western empire, and it's an extension of especially American power.
Yes.
And, yeah.
So in that case, what is the alternative, do you believe, is going to be more effective?
Well, I just wanted to mention one more thing as criticism, which is that it eats up all of our wealth. So it's now the Netherlands is expected to spend yearly 60 billion euros, which has to come from somewhere. So it has to come from schooling, or from hospitals, or every social service that we are providing. The alternative is, of course, finding routes to real peace. And what does it mean? It doesn't mean building up weapons and going into spending all our national wealth on bombarding the enemy, but it's on actually investing in dialogue and negotiations and looking for diplomatic paths forward. And we have to live together, even if we don't like our enemy, if we do not like maybe Russia or whatever. We still share the same world, and we have to find ways in order to talk less like grown-ups about our difficulties and not see everything as a threat that we have to eliminate.
Yes, and almost 20 plus organizations are coming together.
Yes.
For this summit. So, and that includes peace activists, anti-military, and climate change advocates.
Yes.
How do you ensure that a united front of such diverse voices stay together?
Well, we come all from very different backgrounds, that's true. Some people come from the women's movement, some people from the climate movement. Specifically, there's, of course, Palestine is being discussed because almost all the NATO countries are deeply involved in the genocide over there. We are paying for it, we are sending weapons, etc., etc. So we come from very different backgrounds, but what is a common feeling among us, that we all feel the urgency that the world, we are on a brink of actually. I can't even imagine that I would say this like 3 years ago or something. But we are on the brink of a third world war, really, and this is so urgent that we have our differences and we have our different backgrounds, but we feel that we have to act, because otherwise we really are turning our future into a disaster.
And in the recent fall of the Dutch government, do you see a shift in public opinion around military alliance, defense spending?
Well, you have been talking about the red line demonstrations, and I'm very happy that this is becoming mainstream, because it didn't used to be. It was like an exception, and people sort of were complaining about these students making noise at universities, but actually it has to become mainstream. We're not that far yet when it comes to NATO in general, because we still believe that we are that Russia can attack us at each moment. So we are being kept in a position of being scared and weak and vulnerable. But actually, I think we have to see NATO for what it is, and it's just an aggressive force that tries to protect American empire around the world, and we have to go against that, I think.
And for the listeners who would like to engage, where can they find more information?
Well, I think if you just type in Tegentop NATO, then you'll find us. But it's also tegentopcoalitie.nl. You'll also find the full program. And don't forget, it's on Saturday, but on Sunday there's a demonstration in The Hague. So it's also a demonstration for peace and justice. So it's please be there.
Jakob de Jong from Peace Hague Project, and I am Nandini Rao.
Thank you.
Dutch Buzz, bringing you the latest news from the city of peace and justice.